It's Good Friday tomorrow, and whilst planning our service, myself and Daz had a bit of a conversation about, what's the feel of the service? Did we go for a kind of a lively, celebratory kind of mood, or did we go for a somber, reflective mood? Because the reality is we are Easter Sunday Christians, and therefore we view our faith and we view Good Friday through that particular lens. We read the Good Friday story and we know that there is hope. We know that everything's all right in the end. We know that Jesus is resurrected, and we know that Jesus' death on the cross means life for us. We know what the cross means. But does the hope and joy of the Easter Sunday take away the pain and anguish of the Good Friday? You see, I don't think it does. I think it's a really sad and horrific story where Jesus is broken physically completely, and that when we hear that story we should recoil in disgust. We should shout out in despair. We should shout out the injustice of it all. And perhaps we should be asking ourselves, if I was there, what would I do? If I was a friend of Jesus, would I run away and desert him, even deny him? And if I was the crowd, would I switch from shouting his praises to instead shouting for his execution? And perhaps this is why, despite the fact that we are Easter Sunday Christians, despite the fact that we know that everything works out in the end, that for the last 2,000 years we have spent more time remembering Good Friday than we have remembering Easter Sunday. That through the act of communion we remember the death of Jesus Christ. We partake in his blood and his body, and we ask ourselves a question around our own culpability in Jesus's death, the ways that we have deserted him, the way that we have denied him, the ways in which we have not acted as a true follower of Jesus Christ. But that leads me on to the question of when we finally return to some sense of normality with regard to our church services, potentially this summer. What will the mood be? Will it be lively? Will it be a celebration, knowing that things are okay again, that we can once again meet together? And I'm so looking forward to that time. But is there a danger that in having that celebratory mood we can forget the pain and despair of the last year? Or perhaps that should be the lens through which we view our return to physical church services. That actually we need to spend time in lament, recognizing the distress, the pain, the death, the destruction that COVID has caused in the last year. That we ought to recognize that, yes, we're now returning to some semblance of normality. That actually we will never be the same again. And we could perhaps spend time considering the lessons that we have learnt, and the ways in which we have changed and the ways in which we must change. Because this past year has been pretty terrible. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to this midweek message. Do remember to subscribe to our channel, and remember that at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning we have got our Good Friday service telling the story where we look at the story of the first Good Friday 2,000 years ago. And on Easter Sunday, it's really exciting. We have a live service from the church. Neil Angie will be leading the first bit, and then myself and Daz will be doing 3 baptisms, and we're really excited about that. So do join us at 10:30 on Sunday for that. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.